Alright everybody, welcome to the stream. Tonight we are going to be talking about 3-core aliens. And, I titled the stream just Aliens because that is what most people think of when they think of an alien, right? Think of the 3 cores and the alien wrap over it, right? You can do 2-core aliens. Oh, wait a second. My audio's coming through somewhere. Ah, there it is. Whoops. Alright, anyway. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about 3-core aliens tonight. Tonight I'm going to do a triple 27 core with a 38 gauge alien wrap on it. And yeah, we're going to do that for you. I'm going to do kind of a shorter length here for you guys so it doesn't take 1,000 years. One thing I do have to do real quick is I have to change my battery because I was using this earlier for fuse Claptons. And I was just kind of knocking some sets out. So let me just change that. Sorry if this is a little loud for you guys. Okay, one moment. Oops. All right. Cool. Awesome. What's up, everybody? Got Frank freaking Wolf, Mark Clough, like rough, J. Ray Amundsen, excuse me, Danimal Vapes, Kevin K, Mirko, Brittany Binker, Frank freaking Wolf, Dire Thing. What's up, everybody? Awesome. Well, welcome. So let me just go ahead and attach this. Now, one thing right off the bat you guys might notice that's a little bit different about this time, I'm using this little clamp here, as you can see. And the cool thing about this is that this is a clamp that holds your wires nice and flat. Sorry, my image is backwards, so I have to get used to kind of working not upside down, but backwards anyway. So, yeah, so we got that. And I'm going to use this. You probably won't have this, but I'll show you how to do this anyway, even without this. So, cool. Here, we're going to go ahead and take that out for now because I don't need it. And I will tell you how to get that if you are interested. It is sometimes hard to get because of just the way the shop is that sells them. They don't always have them. So, anyway, cool. What's the jig that holds my swivels? This, in and of itself, is actually a product called The Swivel, the SWVL. And, I don't know, let me see if I can get a little bit of zoom in on that. You might not be able to see that very well, but it does say SWVL on it. And what this is, in and of itself, it actually spins. Let me back you guys back out a little bit. All right, hold on, sorry. This is a little jig itself, and it spins, so it has a skateboard bearing in there, and then my swivel is attached to it, so it acts as kind of a fail-safe. I have this locked in a vise that is then just kind of C-clamped to my table. So, yep, we're going to get a link for the clamps. It is not USA Ohm meters. It's a place called Builder's Boutique. It is run by Ramo. He's a good coiler on Instagram. Ramu? I don't know. Anyway, run by that guy. Great guy. Don't know him, but everybody says he's a good guy, and it's a pretty reasonable price, I think, for what you're getting. Okay, so first of all, what I'm vaping on right now is I just got this in from my buddy Aziz. This is the Aventador by GI Mods Philippines, and this thing is sweet, man. This thing is just, oh, there we go again. This thing is just really cool. I like it a lot. Got a .12 on top. And reload 1.5 with a clear dock tip. Demo chat, what's up? Yeah, this is a drill press vise, right? It fits on the table nice and easy. So, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get jumped in here. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So, an alien, at its heart, we'll start with the, what is an alien, right? A lot of people may know this, many may not, so we're going to start there, right? So, an alien, first of all, and sorry about my chair, guys, I am going to get some WD-40 soon. An alien is, in traditional senses, three cores that are wrapped in a Clapton that has been decored, right? So they are wrapped in just the Clapton wrap of a single core Clapton, right? So it creates Ramo 2U. Okay, yeah. It creates that little S shape that you're used to on an alien wrap, right? So there's a trick to that. You have to go backwards from the way you Claptoned it, and I'll show you I'll show you how to do all of this. So yeah, so we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, at the outset, 3 cores in the center with a fancy Clapton wrap is kind of what you'd think right at the way, you know, at the beginning anyway. You'd think that is kind of it's just a fancy Clapton, right? It is a lot more than that. The little S pattern has some unique properties and whatnot, and we'll go over that more again as we go. So I'm not going to guarantee any sort of success with this. 3-core aliens are my weakest spot of my build game, so we're not going to guarantee any sort of results here. So I might need my next spool. We'll see here. I've got just the tiniest little bit left on the spool. So am I still selling coils? Yes. There's going to be an announcement made very soon. I'm going to be selling some coils on lucidrda.com. And, you know, we're going to be going through that process. I think it'll be easier for you guys to get a hold of them. And, you know, it wouldn't hike up the costs really that much, if at all, you know. So we're going to, you know, we're going to work that out. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'll be making announcements on that in Vapes Do Crew Facebook, as well as Demo's Vape Lounge. You know, so we'll be doing all that very soon. So, all right. So one thing that I like to do when I make my aliens is I like to do the decor first, right? So I like to do the decor first, right? So this is my maximum length from drill to swivels, right? Normally I have a longer length, but just for the video, this is what my maximum length is. When you do your decor for aliens, you want it to be longer than your core wires by about another half a length, right? So however long your core wires are, whatever half more is of that, that would be what you add on to your decor, right? So if this is the decor length, we're going to end up doing an alien that's probably about this long in actual length, right? So that's how that's going to work. All right, so I'm going to make one core that is long enough to do the decor on, and then the rest will be sort of the more normal length. So I'm going to clip that little janky end off. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and take this like that. That's the length of decor we're going to have. Okay, and I'm definitely going to need the second spool for this. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. It's got quite a kink in it. I can work that out. Sorry guys, the end of the spool sometimes can be a little bit challenging. So I'm going to clip this right about here or so. I always like to have a little bit more decor if possible, because there's nothing worse than running out of decor before you're really done making your aliens, right? So I'm going to do that, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get away. No, there's not really enough there for that. I guess not really much use for this, but maybe I'll make a fuse Clapton out of it or something. So I'm going to go ahead and take that, throw that away. That spool's done. Pull out my next spool of 27 gauge. What's up, guys? These are going to be N80. Yes, Brittany, these will be N80. Let's see here. Jared, what's up? I didn't see you, Jared. Where are you? I don't know. Oh, Jared, the Vaping Goat. There you are. Okay, cool. Awesome. Swaggins, Wolf, Jared, what's up? All right. Let's move right along here. Take this tape off. This is that tape that Twisted Messes uses that I don't like. Okay. These don't have to be perfect. You know, I kind of cut them to a rough degree and then size them down later. You can, you know, be as meticulous as you want to be if you're trying to waste absolutely no wire. You know, I find that if you try to keep every little scrap of wire being wasted, you ultimately kind of waste time doing that. And, you know, there's some level of balance that has to be achieved. So, okay, so I've got my 2 core wires there. Oh, 3 core wires anyway. This long one will eventually become a core wire, right? So for now, though, we're going to straighten all 3 of these pieces, and then I'm going to do the decor. Right now, it's pretty much just like making a fuse Clapton. or a 3-core fused Clapton. All right, just like the, let's see here, just like the, you know, the fused Clapton, we're going to attach our wire into our chuck of our drill here. Going to pull on it real tight with some pliers and spin it in order to straighten it up. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Ready? Drill's happening for all headphone users. So I'm going to give you a second to either pull off your headphones or do whatever. All right, go. Cool. All right, so we got one piece straight. And do the same with the other two. Okay. Now, luckily, you know, when we straighten this up, any kinks like this one that we have here, I don't know if you guys will be able to see that very well, but we have a little kink in the wire right here. And any kinks like that will work out in the straightening process. Pull that hard. I want to do that. Perfect. All the kinks are straightened out. Nice and easy. All right, so we got one core that's a little bit shorter than the others, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do this Clapton here. This is one of the easy parts. Now, you know, for anybody who's out there that's considering making this build, be sure that you have a foundation in fused Claptons, because this is not a good build to start out building. It's this is a coil that requires just as much prep, or rather just as much technique anyway as it does prep, right? So what you're going to end up with is a coil that's pretty hard to make because, you know, not only does it involve some detailed prep work, but it also involves a lot of technical mastery of working with your wires and stuff like that. So make sure you have that foundation before you proceed with this build here. But this is the build that we kind of go and, you know, base a lot of our other builds off of, so it's really necessary to learn. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this into the chuck, you know, kind of twist this end up here just like we did in the fused Clapton tutorial. If you guys haven't watched those, be sure to go back and check those out. They were live format just like this, so I know they might be a little long, but, you know, try to go into as much detail as I think is necessary. All right. Cool, so we've got the foundation for our regular old Clapton here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start Claptoning on my 30 gauge. Sorry, not 30 gauge, 38 gauge. Everyone out there was just like, 30 gauge? Oh, I dropped my piece of tape. Well, that sucks. I'm going to have to figure that out in a second. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this piece. I'm going to go ahead and wrap the 38 gauge around the wire that is in the chuck, this little leg that sticks out. This just helps secure it, just like you do in the other builds. All right, now that I have this secured, I'm going to go ahead and pull a piece of tape off so that I can fix that. Demo, I am the newest afterthought. Oh boy. All right, so let's see. Our built wires so sparingly haven't had to clip the leads on installation before now. Oh yeah, totally. What's up, Schweinsteiger? Yeah, yep. Schweinsteiger, Wolfeschlägelheim. Oops, shit, man. I'm getting all twisted up now. Schweinsteiger, Wolfeschlägel, Steinhausen, Bergerdorf. There we go. Let's see here. Is that Spencer? Oh, dude, I saw that build, Jared. All right, sorry. I got to keep going. Getting distracted by the chat here. You guys are distracting me. Bad influences. All right, I'm going to put my tape back over there. All right. So one thing that we're going to talk about right now before we go any further is when you do an alien, you want to Clapton the initial Clapton in the reverse of how you're inevitably going over to be doing the alien, right? So if you want your alien wrap to be going forward and wrapping over, then you need to Clapton this going backwards, right? Because you're going to reverse the drill for the eventual alien, right? So this is going to be wrapped this way, and the ultimate alien coil that we're going to be doing at the end, the ultimate alien, is going back that way. Or, sorry, going back this way, right? Because we're Claptoning this way towards me. Alrighty, here. Alright guys, I'm not going to mute myself this time because I thought it was kind of boring last time, so I'm going to go ahead and just kick this drill into action. Oh, shit. Well, I had it just wrap back on me. That was kind of random. Didn't think I was wrapping too... Oh, shit. Alright. Well, you know, if that happens, it's okay. You just want to make sure that you apply a lot of tension when you pull back that wire. That might cause some little weird things to happen in the eventual wrap, but, you know, we'll see. All right, so that is what we have so far. We have a Clapton. Now I'm going to cut this here, and we're going to have a little tail on it, right? So we're going to have just a little bit of a tail, and that's to help us out later on. So, in fact, actually what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to cut this. I'm going to snip this with scissors, and there's a reason why, right? When I have this dragging across my floor, and I have carpet, if you snip this with wire clippers, you're going to have a little tag on the end of this wire, right? it's going to have a mashed end, right? That mashed end is going to push out little corners. That shit's going to grab on your carpet. So this will help a little bit. All right. So now what we're going to do is ultimately what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to take this Clapton wrap right here that's on this wire. We're going to try to take this off of the wire, right? So to do that, there's a few different techniques you can use, right? For one, we're going to do a reverse, right? So we're going to go ahead and put the drill back in forward motion away from me. And I'm going to grab this right here. Just grab the end, grab this little tail, or grab this entire end of this Clapton here, and we're just going to spin the drill in reverse. Now, how long should you do this for, right? A lot of people will say, oh, wait until you see waves in the wire or whatever. You can do that. What I like to do is I like to drill for a little bit, stop, and just check. If the wire moves nice and freely, if this wrap moves nice and freely on the core, you're ready, right? So, I'm going to go ahead and fire this up for a second. Right, so it's sprung back a little bit. Now we've got nice loose wire. It's sliding nice and easily across this piece. You can see that right there. I'll kind of zoom in just so you can see a little bit more clearly what I'm showing you here. See this wire? I can slide easily back and forth, and that outer wrap is moving. Go ahead and put that back. All right, so we're going to go ahead and remove this from the chuck, and I leave this end in, and I'll show you why. First of all, let's see if as long as I don't screw this up, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut this wire that connects the wrap to the core, right? So we're just going to kind of snip that wire. You want to cut these separately because you don't want them to get stuck together. So now what we have is we have a Clapton wrap that just slides freely on the core, right? Nice and simple. So where did I put those scissors? This is highly recommended when you do aliens. You should buy a set of metal shears. These cost like $4 on Amazon. I'll have links down in the description for this too. These are titanium shears, and these things slice through wire. They don't mash it, right? Again, if you snip this 27 gauge right here, you're going to cause a little push out at the end, and that's going to make it really hard for you to pull this core off. So if you take a pair of scissors to this instead, like a pair of metal shears, you just give it a cut. Now you have a nice easy end, and you know, just everybody cross your fingers that this doesn't bite me in the ass. You have a nice easy end to pull off your decor very easily. Boom. So now we have what is essentially a very large spring, right? Is my light dying on? Yep, this light's dying. Oh shoot. Well, okay, we're gonna have to make do with what we got here. So what we have right now is essentially a spring, right? It's a very, very loose, long spring. So we're going to go ahead and put that to the side. That bit is done. Now we're going to take these other cores here, along with this 27 gauge piece, and make sure they're cut to size. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these little tails off here, and then I'm going to make sure everything's nice and evened up. So I go ahead and stack these wires, kind of push them up at the end, just to make sure they're all nice and even. And go ahead and grab this, bring this all the way down here, and just cut both ends. So now we have 3 even lengths of wire. You can do whatever you feel fit with these little ends. I just toss them. That goes in there. All right. I'm going to open up my chuck, and we're going to stick this this here drill thingy in here. All right. Okay, so when we use this little drill guy, what I like to do, I really like to do, is I like to attach this end of the wire right here into the swivels first, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and grab these, Try to keep them as flat as possible. They're going into the alien this side first. Now, a couple things, right? A lot of people want you to wrap these around, you know, over and over again, up and down, around and around. What I do is I just go ahead and bend them like that. And then as long as I don't pull too hard on these core wires, which is something that you will see later, these will just stay like this. I don't want to wrap this around because I find that these stay a lot more flat more easily when you don't try to do that. That's kind of controversial. Some people don't quite agree with that technique. That's how I do it. And I have reasonable success, but if I'm honest, I don't practice 3-core aliens enough. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of get in here. Might stand up even to try to get this wire loaded in. Nice and flush and straight. Ooh, that's nice. Holds them all nice and flat. Let's see if this is centered. Not quite. We have a little bit of overhang, and I'm going to just adjust that now. Not overhang, sorry. They're just a little bit off-centered. That's a little bit better. All right. We're going to go with that. So, all right. So now we have all 3 cores in there. Spinning relatively evenly. There's a little bit off center, but, you know, this is about as good as I'm going to get for right now. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and double check, make sure we've got good tension up here. Perfect. Awesome. Let's look at chat here real quick. Send some of that demo cool to Texas. I'd be happy to if I could. Dude, Frank freaking Wolf's doing his work as a moderator. That's for damn sure. How about some 6-core aliens? Yeah, you know, we'll work on it. Dismafuga here. This is a I don't know exactly what this is clamp, but this clamp is called, but it's a builder's vice. So it's designed to hold pieces of wire flat so that you don't have to stick them in a chuck and bend them in all different directions. I'll have a link in the description for all of this stuff, guys. Those scissors and this builder clamp. It also comes with a little baby brother here that you can stick on the other end if you really want to. I don't use that because I think that's kind of a pain in the ass, but this is there too if you're doing really complicated builds, enigmas, stuff like that you need to have a really nice fine clamp on both ends. Anyway, so everything will be in the description afterwards. If you don't have this, though, right, which most of us don't, if you don't have this, the way to solve that is to get yourself a... Sorry, not get yourself. I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm thinking about a few things at once. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to somehow find a way to clamp these 3 wires together, whether it's hot glue, piece of wire, tape, I don't know. It's up to you, right? These are Remo to use clamps, yes. So anyway, what I'm going to do, if I don't have this, is I will want to bend each 3 wires in different directions so that they can each go into a slot of the chuck. Try to keep it centered and flat as much as possible. This makes it a lot easier. All right, so what I'm going to do here for you guys is I'm going to stretch this. Now, I like no stretch aliens where you don't use a stretch technique, but you know, it doesn't work for everybody, and so it doesn't work for me on 3-core aliens. I'm going to have to stretch this. So what I'm going to do with this, I've actually never used this clamp here to make 3-core aliens before, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try this out. You pull a little bit off the end, right? So I'm kind of pulling up and just pull out a little bit. I'm going to try wrapping these around some of these screws here. I don't know if that's going to work. Come on now. Work with me. if that's going to work. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and stick this into the clamp and kind of try to start it. Come on now. No, it's not wanting to catch because I've bent it out of shape. All right, so I have it wrapped a little bit around the clamp, around these 3 cores right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, stand up, and I'm going to pull this wrap out. Now, I'm going to do my best to show you what an evenly spaced wrap looks like. It might take some camera adjustment, so bear with me, guys. So I'm going to use my pliers here, and I'm going to stretch this out, and I will come back and show you what it should look like once it's fully stretched. This is an area where a live video is not as strong as a pre-recorded video for sure. Let's hope this just doesn't come flying out. Alrighty, so this is what I've got. Now I'm going to do my best to kind of zoom in on this a little bit. Let's see here if I can show you guys. Ah, shit. Okay, hold on. Hold, please. Where is the autofocus? Okay. All right. You guys see that? I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that very well. I'm zoomed all the way in. Basically, okay, so I'm going to try to post a picture of this later on Demo's Vape Lounge so that I can get you guys a better look. Basically, what I'm trying to achieve is a 90-degree, right, a little house, right? I'm trying to achieve a 90-degree house, you know, house top on each of the ridges, right? So that's what I'm trying to achieve in this stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and post a picture again. I'll do it in Demo's Vape Lounge later on, so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. So now the trick with aliens, right? When you're wrapping an alien, this is really what makes or breaks this process, right? The wrapping of this coil is quite difficult, right? So you can prep really well, you can do everything right, and then screw it up here, right? And it's really frustrating. The only way to make aliens easily is to practice. You have to practice over and over and over again. Some people are never going to get it, and some people are going to get it right away, and it's going to be super frustrating to see other people get it right away and if you can't get it. But if you persevere and ask questions, it'll come, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to find the tension on this that gives us a nice laydown, right? Where we start to see the alien lay down, right? When we get about halfway through, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see how this is laying down. But you're not going to be able to see anything behind this chuck for now. So I'm going to go ahead and start this. And when you do this, you want to Clapton a little bit. You don't want to Clapton right at 90. You want to be in a little bit of a lead, right? You want to be in a little bit of a lead forward. Otherwise, it's going to catch and wrap over itself. So we're going to be very gentle right at the beginning. We don't want these cores to come out of alignment. So my wrap is already catching on my carpet. We've got a good start going here. Now this is one of those instances where having a thinner Clapton wrap for this is actually going to be really helpful. If you use this with 36 gauge, oh shit, it's catching again on the floor, man. So sometimes that happens, you know? If you've got carpet floors, might want to learn how to no stretch, because it's just really difficult to get this worked out when you have carpet, because it's just a pain. So I'm going to keep going. Okay, so now that we're here, I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, I don't want to take my hand off of this, but I'm going to try to get you guys a better angle. Well, that's going to be the best I can do for right now. So, all right. Running into some issues with this wrap. It's not laying down very nicely. Oh no! The cores are starting to come up on me. See, this is why I don't build 3-core aliens very much, guys. I just don't like them. They're hard to make, and I just don't find the satisfaction I get out of a frame staple core, you know. It's just easier. Oh, come on. Ah, shit. See, you know, this is just how it goes sometimes, man. Oh, balls! Fuck. The drills, the tweezers, pliers, whatever these are, slipped out of my hands. Yeah, that's fucked. Alright, well, maybe not. Yeah. Yeah, these are pretty much done. Yep. Cool. All right, well, that's what I got. I got from here to here with very little incident. Now, some of you guys might find this funny or witty, but I actually keep these lengths of alien that I get from failed aliens, and I call them failians. All right, so here's the thing, right? Alien makers, you can use alien makers, right? That's okay. You can do that. However, when you do this right, when you stretch this right, and you get to do it over and over and over again, you don't need things to keep your cores aligned, right? They will keep themselves aligned if you have the stretch right, if you have the tension right, if you have everything right, right? I don't like alien makers because they're inconsistent sometimes and they're tough to use in other times and various different things, right? If they help you out, if they make it work for you, then go for it. But I don't use them myself. So, and I've had good results in the past. I just rarely make 3-core aliens, so that's why this is just a little bit out of practice. I'm going to go ahead and take this twist out. And the way we do that is we line it up here, clamp with this, put the drill in forward motion, and just kind of take that twist out. Nice and simply. Go a little past, come back, perfect. Okay. So that didn't come out super great, but it came out okay. It's enough to build one coil out of, so we will make a single coil out of this, and I'll certainly use it. One of the things that is really nice about this style of coil is that it is very, very malleable, not springy. It's very easy to wrap. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to teach you guys about a new wrapping technique. Well, it's not new, but it's one that's new to me when we come back. Wait, where are we coming back from? Nowhere. Okay, so there's a few little imperfections, but largely this is... God, I can't... Let's see here. This is what we have for final purposes. A few little imperfections, but, you know, vapable, certainly. You guys are not going to be able to see that. I would have to put it under a macro lens, and I can't do that, but... You know, it would take too long, and this is not the setup for it. So I'm working on a new setup for this, guys. I want to make sure, because my lighting has been kind of in this setup, so I'm going to try to figure out a better way to go. So, but that's what we have. All right, so I'm going to grab my screwdriver. This is a 3mm screwdriver. I prefer working with these, not the rods. You know, it is what it is. So let's see here. What I do, and this is my new method, right? I used to do a clamp here, right, a vise, and I would attach the wire in the vise, and then I would wrap around the coil jig, right? And attach one end to the vise, another end with some pliers, and pull it around, right? Well, Sammy Nitro 5150 I have to thank for this one. What I do is I actually hold my pliers and my screwdriver together. And what this does is I can put the wire in the tip of the pliers, just like this, and it'll hold onto it for me, and I can make really nice, very easy, perfect and purposeful wraps. Jesus. All right, so see how we've got that here? And I'm actually going to move this to the very front of these pliers, right? So we've got that there. Now all I have to do is just pull it on over, pull it tight, pull it on over, pull it tight, pull it on over, pull it tight, right? See what I'm doing here? Pull it on over, pull it tight. You guys will be able to see that very well. Go ahead and pull that one on over, pull it tight. Make sure we're nice and tightly wrapped around there like that. And yeah. Gonna kind of even out those leads a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and index them. And there you have it. A bit of a janky one. And let's see if I can actually zoom this out so you guys can see it a little bit better. There we go. We have a 3-core alien. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer without totally losing my light. Not very well. 38 gauge makes it hard to see. Well, but that is that. So we're gonna go ahead and end this here. And you know, not the most perfect result, but you know, there's a reason why I prefer making Fralians, and you'll see that next time when we do Fralians. The core on Fralians is a lot more rigid. It holds nicer. It's much more easy to wrap on than 3 cores, to be honest. And I think it performs better myself. Well, let me just kind of pull up my camera here and have it face me. Just 1 second. Let me just lower this light down so that it can face me as well. Ooh, that's bright. Let's lower that a little bit. All right, sorry guys. Just adjust my aperture. I know it's like demo nighttime now. Oh boy. So, with this incredibly dramatic lighting, that's about it. So, let me just field some questions here real quick. How do you become so awesome, Demo? Or were you born that way? Well, I'd like to think that I was just born that way, but you know, vaping is what makes you awesome. Well, thank you, sir. Demo in the dark. Basement Demo. This is actually my bedroom, not basement. But, you know, you guys have just one light source coming here, and this other light right here, this battery-powered thing, dead. Dead light. Gotta charge it. Yes, thanks, Frank, for putting that FDA comment period up there. I do really appreciate it. Man, this thing is, you really gotta smash that button. Do you guys have any more questions about, you know, how this all works? More questions about the process, things I couldn't show you down up close? I'm happy to kind of explain some more on any of this stuff. Ooh, I needed a vape. Where all the magic happens. I commented from the UK. Very nice. Very nice, Phil. Appreciate that. When you say the alignment on the wraps, right, what do you mean? Do you mean like how it lays down on the actual wire, or, you know, how that all lines up? What's your question, Schweinsteiger? We also know your real name, Spencer. What color is my orange shit? My orange... I think you meant, what color is my orange shirt? That would be orange. Let's see here. The idea of stretch is daunting. Gotta waste a lot of wire. Yeah, so you can do this no stretch, right? It is possible. However, you have to put a lot more tension on your wires, and really you have to use core stabilizers when you do that. You can no stretch on a Fralian, though, without using stabilizers, and we'll show you that next week for sure. I would say this, right? Okay, so I learned how to alien with the stretch. I got good at the alien with the no stretch, right? The problem is that if you're doing 3-core aliens, you definitely should learn how to stretch it, right? If you can. If you have carpet like me, you might have to no stretch, and that requires a lot of playing with wire gauges and stuff. I can no stretch a 26 gauge core alien, no problem. 27 gauge, it's a little bit more malleable. Things start shifting out of alignment with all that tension on it, and you know, it is what it is. So, you know, yeah, I think my carpet adds a little bit of that nice demo flavor. How to get the S curves to nest correctly on the outer wraps. Honestly, dude, in terms of like how they all lay down on the wire, it is, you know, it's really practice, man. I wish I could say that there was an easy way to do it. It's practice, because, you know, unlike a Clapton, which is easy, right? Which just, you know, you just go down. The alien requires a lot of in the moment kind of technique, and unless you have that, it just doesn't, you know, doesn't work. So, what's up, Dustin Vapor? Benefit of alien versus fused Clapton. Okay, so alien, I think, does a few things. One, I think that it makes your wicking better. Two, I think that it makes your cleanup easier. It makes the coils easier to clean. And because of that better wicking, your cotton's going to last longer. I think the flavor is better. You know, you can take longer hits oftentimes before you get dry hits. You know, all of those things are benefits of alien coils. You know, different people will tell you different things. Oh, it's just a fancy Clapton rad. There's no benefit to it. You know, I genuinely do think there is a benefit to it. Otherwise, I wouldn't even bother, right? Like, I don't need to add any more work to my life, right? I've tested them side by side with their Clapton, you know, counterparts, right? Tri-core fused Claptons versus aliens, frame staples versus alien frame staples, and there's always a consistent bump in flavor, performance, and easier to clean, you know, easier cleanup with aliens. So, yeah, trial and error. What's up, Freddie B? Let's see here. Aliens hold juice and has greater surface area. Yes. So this is one thing that is another thing, right? Because of that S pattern that you get with the alien, you are actually able to kind of pack in more wire, right? Noticing, you know, the fact that, you know, you're fusing a longer wire at the beginning, right? And I know that you're widening it out at the end of the day, but you can pack in a little bit more wire. Let's see here. I have a Sapor V2 24mm. I need coils. What would you suggest? I actually have no experience. Sorry, Bubba. No experience with the Sapor V2. You know, maybe Jared does, and he's here. So, well, you have the Fralians that I made you, Mark, and that's kind of my specialty, which is why those are amongst the coils that are going to be going up for sale on lucidrda.com. Don't have a date yet. We are working on that. You know, I still have to get containers and labels, and, you know, I still have to make the vast majority of the coils. I had a problem with some of the materials for fused Claptons today, so I had to order from a different company, and, you know, all of that will become apparent soon. You know, interesting. For those interested in purchasing a demo coil, it will be available soon at lucidrda.com. Yeah, you know, we don't have a timeline on it as of yet, but keep your eyes open, keep your eyes peeled. They will be out there. You can try some of these yourself. 3-core aliens will not be listed. It's going to be frame staples, alien frame staples, and fused Claptons. We're going to start with that. So, so yeah. Cool, guys. Well, if there's nothing else, unfortunately, the stitched aliens you sent me fused together? Wait a second. Joshua. Oh, shit. Joshua, I need to talk to you after this stream. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, Juan basically has a good point. The amount of tension you put on an alien, or rather, let me back up. The stretch you put on an alien will affect how much tension is needed to ultimately fuse it. If you notice that you have to apply a decent amount of tension to get that wire to lock in on your 3-core aliens, you know, go ahead, stop right away. Stop while it's still near the chuck. You have a lot of forgiveness when your wire is by the chuck. Stop, go back, stretch it a little bit more, and then keep going. I do not have a staggered fuse Clapton tutorial up. Staggers, I will happily admit to you guys, staggered builds are not my thing, right? Both, I'm not a huge fan of the way they vape, in addition to the fact that I have a tough time making them. You know, it's just, I'll totally admit it, man. Staggers are a pain in the ass. And they look really cool, but, you know, I personally am not a huge fan of them. Probably won't see too many staggered tutorials from me. You might not. We'll see. So, let's see here. Alrighty, guys. Well, really affects how much tension you're fusing. I am going to go ahead and sign off here. You know, I'll be in the Vape Stew Discord server after we're done here. If you're not familiar with that, and if you're not familiar with Vape Stew, check out Vape Stew every Friday night at 9 p.m. Central Time on Tenacious TX Vapes channel. Stan over there, we have a great show, and we have a Facebook group. There's a Discord server, which is essentially voice chat and text chat and whatnot. I hang out with the members of Vape Stew crew over there. So if you're interested, go join Vape Stew crew on Facebook. Link is in the announcements and whatnot, and maybe I'll see some of you guys over there. So yeah, cool. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful. You know, I'm trying this out. I'm going to try to figure out a new setup because I don't think this setup is working for me the way I have it right now. So, you know, you might see some different, you might see it arranged differently next time. So, cool, guys. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye!